All right, let's cut right to it. It's been another crazy week in AI, with a ton of noise and, frankly, a lot of hype. So today, we're going to slice through all of that and look at what's really going on. We're talking about tools that are changing the game, huge strategic power plays, and some very hard truths the big players are now facing.
So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll kick things off with a story that proves the game has already changed. Then we'll dive into Google's all-out market assault. After that, we'll look at the massive catch, the big problem in their plan. We'll see how competitors are fighting back, how the whole market is getting shaken up, and finally, what it all means for your career.
Let's start with a real-world story, because this is the moment it all became crystal clear for me. This isn't about some fancy press release. This is about what is now possible for literally anyone, with or without a technical background.
I really want you to think about that for a second. I gave a team member, someone who does not write code, the same product document I was looking at. A few hours later, they had built a complete working customer relationship manager, a CRM. A task that would have taken a whole team of developers days, maybe even weeks, was just done. That's the moment the theory became reality. The barrier to building real software just completely evaporated.
So what made this possible? Well, I had been playing around with Google's new anti-gravity platform, and honestly, I was not impressed. It felt clunky, half-baked. But the real power, the tool my team member actually used, was AI Studio. You see, while anti-gravity gets all the headlines, AI Studio is the real workhorse. It's where non-technical people are building actual, valuable things. It's a classic Google move, isn't it? The tool they don't talk about is the one that's a total killer.
And that really brings us to what Google is doing on a much bigger scale. For months, it felt like they were playing defense, just reacting to OpenAI. Well, not anymore. What we're seeing right now is a full-scale offense, a coordinated attack across their entire product line. They are pushing every single advantage they have to just dominate this space.
And the spearhead of this attack is their new image generator. They're calling it, and you have to love this name, Nano Banana Pro. Let me tell you, this thing is a beast. The old version couldn't get text right to save its life. This one absolutely nails it. We're talking 4K quality, the ability to merge multiple photos into one image. You can even stretch pictures and it'll just fill in the sides. If I'm a graphic designer right now, I'm sweating. The quality is just that good.
And the best part, it's ridiculously easy to use. You just open Gemini, even the free one, hit the little plus icon, choose Nano Banana, and just type what you want. You can even upload a picture of your own product and say, "Make me some professional product shots." The barrier to entry is just gone.
But listen, this isn't just about making cool pictures. Google is embedding AI into the very DNA of its ecosystem. We're talking real-time scam detection on your phone calls. They've built an AirDrop competitor for the next Pixel phone. They're even killing off the old SMS one-time passwords for a way more secure system. This is Google's ultimate trump card. They own the cloud, the database, the ad network, the OS. And now they're plugging a world-class AI into every single piece. That's a strategic moat that's nearly impossible for anyone else to cross.
So, game over, right? Google has built this unbeatable machine, and they've won. Well, hold on a second. Here's the catch. And trust me, it is a very, very big catch. There is a deep, fundamental flaw in their most powerful new model.
Okay, so there's this company, Omniscience, and they run these models through some incredibly tough tests. Now, if you just look at the accuracy column, you'll see exactly what Google wants you to see. Gemini 3 Pro is sitting right at the top, 53%. A full 11 points ahead of the competition. Looks like a clear win. But then your eyes drift over to the column on the right.
88%. Let me say that again. Gemini 3 Pro has an 88% hallucination rate on this benchmark. That means it is just making things up nearly 9 times out of 10. That number is frankly terrifying. I don't care how accurate your model is on paper, if you can't trust what it's saying, it's useless for anything important. A model that lies to you 88% of the time is not a tool, it's a liability. This is Google's Achilles heel.
And this massive reliability problem, well, it throws the door wide open for Google's rivals. And you better believe they're all pushing their own unique advantages. The AI war isn't a single battle. It's being fought on multiple fronts.
Take OpenAI. They're not even trying to play Google's ecosystem game. They can't. So instead, they're doubling down on what made them famous in the first place, generating code. With GPT 5.1 Codex Max, they're aiming for something called agentic coding. Basically, an AI that doesn't just help you code, it is the coder. You give it a goal, and it writes, debugs, and deploys the entire app by itself. Meanwhile, Meta is playing a completely different sport. Their new model, SAM 3, is a huge deal. It lets you isolate and grab any object out of a video, almost instantly. This used to be incredibly tedious work that took artists hours. Now, it's a click. So why does this matter? Because it makes creating content for their augmented reality glasses incredibly cheap and fast. Meta is trying to win the next hardware war by winning the content war first. And then you have Elon Musk's xAI, and they're attacking Google's biggest weakness head-on. They're going to partners like Apple and pitching Grok 4.1. And their sales pitch is simple. We're fast, and more importantly, we have a very low hallucination rate. They're claiming it's down to just 4%. They see a clear opening to be the reliable alternative to Google's powerful, but let's say creative model. So when you have this kind of intense competition at the very top, you start to see major waves hitting everyone downstream. We're seeing big acquisitions, entire business models becoming obsolete, and a real gut check about who's actually going to survive this.
Case in point, Adobe just dropped almost $2 billion to buy SEMrush, a giant in the SEO world. Now, if you ask me, this isn't just about adding another tool to their collection. Adobe is trying to build a platform that owns the entire business workflow, from doing your keyword research with SEMrush all the way to creating the ads and content with their own AI tools. They want to own the whole journey.
And a move like that makes perfect sense when you realize that the old SEO game, well, it's dying. I've been saying it for a while. The whole business of just churning out blog posts to try and rank on Google is finished. We actually ran an experiment, built a whole site using only AI content. And sure, it got traffic, brands even reached out, but it's not a sustainable business model anymore. The game has changed.
So this leads to the next logical question. In this new world, who gets squeezed out? A recent survey asked people which AI company is most likely to fail, and Perplexity was #1 on the list. And I'm not surprised at all. Their fundamental weakness is that they don't own the technology. They are an aggregator, a pretty interface on top of other people's models. And in a market that's consolidating this fast, the middlemen are always the first to disappear. So let's bring all this home. What does this massive consolidation, this automation, this disruption, what does it actually mean for you and your career? Well, the impact is going to be felt at every single level of a company, from the mailroom right up to the corner office. On one hand, you've got the CEO of Anthropic saying that AI will soon take care of half of all entry-level work. And you can already see it. The simple data entry, building small internal tools, that whole category of work is just evaporating. But it doesn't stop there. On the other hand, Google's own CEO, Sundar Pichai, is saying that AI isn't just coming for the interns, it's eventually coming for the CEOs themselves.
And you know what? I think he's right. What is a CEO's job at its core? It's managing a very complex system of people, money, and resources to achieve a specific goal. And what is an advanced AI? It's a system designed to do exactly that, but with data at a scale no human can match. So the final question isn't just whether AI will take your job, but whether it will eventually take every job, right up to the very top. Something to think about. That's our wrap for today.